The morning rain had faded, but the city streets still glistened with puddles. Sunlight broke shyly through heavy clouds, reflecting off wet pavement and hurried cars. The city stirred to life. People rushed by, umbrellas snapped closed, and no one noticed the little girl curled up beside a lamppost. No one but Daniel Carter. He was just heading home from the grocery store, a brown paper bag tucked under his arm, jacket zipped to the chin, when he nearly stumbled over her. A small black girl, maybe 6 years old, sat silently on the edge of the sidewalk. Her pale green dress was soaked and clinging to her tiny frame, stained by city grime. Her hair stuck in wet strands across her forehead, and she had no coat, no shoes, and no bag. Just herself, curled up like she was trying to vanish. People passed, glanced, and walked on. Daniel didn't. He slowly knelt beside her. "Sweetheart, can you hear me?" Her eyelids fluttered halfway open. Big brown eyes met his, hollow, as if they'd cried all they could. "You okay?" he asked softly. She whispered one word. "Cold." That was all it took. Daniel set his groceries down, pulled off his jacket, and wrapped it gently around her trembling body. She didn't flinch when he lifted her. In fact, she clung to him like she'd known him her whole life. He walked straight home. His apartment was small but warm, lined with memories. Photos of his late wife and daughter sat on every shelf. He hadn't raised a child in years, but as the little girl curled up on his couch, falling asleep with his jacket still around her shoulders, something stirred in him. A feeling he hadn't felt in a long, long time. He gave her soup, wrapped her in blankets, and once she was warm enough, he asked, "What's your name?" "Aaliyah," she whispered. "Do you know where your parents are?" She shook her head. "Did someone hurt you?" Silence. That night, she slept on his couch, peaceful, but still clinging to the jacket like it was a lifeline. The next morning, Daniel called child services. A social worker named Tasha arrived. She was kind, careful, and thorough. They took Aaliyah's photo, ran her name, checked every missing persons report. Nothing. No records. No family. No one searching. She might be undocumented, Tasha said gently, or quietly abandoned. It happens more than you'd think. What now? Daniel asked. Well, Tasha said, foster homes are full. But if you're willing, we can fast-track you as her temporary guardian. Daniel looked over at the couch. Aaliyah was asleep again, hugging a stuffed bear he'd pulled from an old closet. Her face, for the first time, looked calm. Safe. I'll do it, he said. Whatever it takes. What he didn't know was that saying yes to that scared, silent girl would change both of their lives forever. And 10 years later, a miracle would prove it. Don't worry, Daniel had said the day she arrived, clutching a threadbare bag and wearing a silence thicker than the rain outside. I'll take care of her for as long as she needs. And he did. Days turned into weeks. Aaliyah barely spoke, but her presence lingered close. She followed Daniel everywhere, quietly sitting beside him at breakfast, waiting at the door when he took out the trash. She didn't talk, but her silence wasn't empty. It was cautious, observant, like she was studying what safety looked like. Then, one quiet evening, Daniel caught her standing by the old upright piano that once belonged to his late wife. Aaliyah's fingers hovered over the keys, barely touching them. You like that? Daniel asked. She nodded gently. Go ahead. She hesitated, then pressed a key. Then another. A soft, disjointed scale echoed in the room. The notes didn't match, but the way she touched them, careful, reverent, made Daniel stop and watch. That night, she returned to the piano. And the next night, the same broken scale, over and over, slowly finding rhythm. She never spoke. She just felt. And then one Sunday morning, as Daniel flipped pancakes in the kitchen, a sound stopped him cold. Music. Real music. He rushed to the living room. Aaliyah was there, eyes closed, shoulders swaying, playing a gentle, haunting version of Amazing Grace. It wasn't perfect, but it was beautiful. Aaliyah, he whispered. She stopped, startled. I just heard it in church once, she said quietly. I wanted to try. Daniel knelt beside her. You didn't try, baby. You did. That was incredible. And for the first time, she smiled. Small. Shy. But real. Months passed. Aaliyah blossomed. She began humming softly, asking questions, sketching in Daniel's old notebooks. But her favorite place remained the piano, especially in the afternoons when golden sunlight slipped through the blinds and lit the keys like treasure. Daniel officially became her foster parent. Every Sunday, Aaliyah played a short piece at their small church. Simple hymns at first, then more intricate arrangements. The congregation always went quiet. Some even cried. "She plays like someone who's lived 1,000 years," the pastor once murmured. Aaliyah had no words for that. She just played. Then one day, Daniel came home holding a flyer. "There's a youth music competition next weekend. Piano division. No entry fee." Aaliyah looked unsure. "I don't want to win." "You don't have to," Daniel replied. "Just share your gift." "What if they don't like it?" "They will," he said, smiling. "Because it's you." The auditorium was big, intimidating. Teenagers wore glittery outfits. Aaliyah wore a sky blue dress and crisp white shoes Daniel had saved for. When her name was called, she walked to the piano with slow, steady steps. The room quieted. She sat, closed her eyes, and played. Not loud, not flashy, but honest and unforgettable. Aaliyah played like her soul was speaking. Each note trembled with something ancient. Pain, hope, resilience, as if the keys were telling the story her voice had never dared to. When the last note faded into silence, the auditorium stayed frozen for a beat, then erupted into applause. A standing ovation. People were crying, cheering. But Aaliyah didn't see any of it. She just stood, stunned, and walked backstage, overwhelmed. Daniel was waiting. He pulled her into a hug so tight, it felt like safety wrapped in warmth. "You were perfect," he whispered. "For you." Then a woman stepped forward, elegant, polished, holding a tablet and wearing a sleek badge. "Mr. Carter?" "Yes. I'm with the National Youth Music Foundation. Your daughter, she's extraordinary. We'd like to offer her a full scholarship, private lessons, mentorship, performances on national stages." Daniel blinked, stunned. "You're serious?" "She's not just talented," the woman said. "She's one in a million." As they walked out into the crisp evening air, Aaliyah held the offer in her hands, her eyes wide with wonder. But as they neared the car, she stopped. Across the parking lot, near a tree, stood a man, pale, tense, watching her. He didn't clap, didn't smile. He just stared. Then quickly he turned and disappeared. Daniel noticed. "Do you know him?" Aaliyah didn't answer. Her smile had vanished. And Daniel knew. Her story wasn't finished. Not yet. That night, Aaliyah couldn't shake the image of the man. She didn't recognize his face, but her body had reacted before her mind could. Her chest had tightened. Her hands had trembled. Some old fear had stirred. Over dinner, Daniel asked gently, "Are you sure you don't know him?" Aaliyah stared at her fork. "No, but I think I used to." Later, she sat at the piano, her safe place. But for the first time in months, she didn't play. Her fingers hovered above the keys, then dropped to her lap. "What if my past finds me?" she whispered. Daniel came and sat beside her. "Then we face it. Together." Weeks passed. The scholarship became real. Aaliyah began attending private lessons twice a week. Her tutors called her a phenomenon. Videos of her church performances went viral. One, titled "The Piano Girl Who Slept on the Sidewalk," reached millions. Strangers wrote letters. Some sent gifts. But Daniel made sure her life stayed grounded: school, music, laughter, peace. Then one golden autumn afternoon, a knock came at the door. Daniel answered to find a woman in her early 40s, well-dressed but visibly trembling, holding a small envelope. "Mr. Carter?" she asked, voice shaking. "My name is Dr. Renee Lewis. I think I know Aaliyah." Daniel's heart skipped. "How?" She opened the envelope and carefully pulled out a faded photo of a little girl. Green eyes, solemn expression. The same eyes that now watched Daniel every morning across the breakfast table. "I believe I'm her mother." She wore a white dress that day, like the one in the old photo. The same green eyes. The same solemn stare. "She's my niece," Renee said softly. "She vanished 10 years ago. My brother. He was unstable. He took her from her mother and disappeared. We thought they were dead." Daniel's hands trembled. Are you saying he left her on purpose? Renee nodded. He was arrested 2 weeks ago, possession of forged IDs. He confessed everything. Said she wouldn't stop crying, so he abandoned her. Aaliyah had stepped quietly into the room, hearing the last part. Her eyes found Renee's. Do you remember me, sweetheart? Renee asked gently. Aaliyah hesitated, then stepped back. You were in a photo. On a wall. I remember. In the weeks that followed, DNA tests confirmed the truth. Aaliyah's mother had died shortly after her disappearance. No one had known where Aaliyah had gone. Renee had searched for years, filed reports, begged authorities, but the trail had gone cold. Now finally she'd found her. I don't want to take her from you, Renee told Daniel. You raised her. You gave her a life. But I'd love to be a part of her future. Daniel looked at Aaliyah. It's your choice. Aaliyah nodded slowly. You can come to my next concert. The event was held in a grand concert hall, packed with musicians, critics, and community members. Aaliyah, now 15, wore a simple white blouse and soft gray pants. She sat at the grand piano, calm and poised, then let her fingers fly. Her final piece was her own composition, Sidewalk to Sky. Each note was a memory, each chord a scar healed. She poured herself into the keys. Every moment of pain, every second of hope. When the final note faded, the crowd rose to its feet. Not just clapping, crying. Reporters, strangers, teachers, all moved by the story told without a single word. Backstage, Renee embraced her, eyes wet. Your mom would be so proud. Aaliyah smiled softly. I hope she hears me. Months later, Aaliyah launched a nonprofit called Sidewalk Symphony, dedicated to providing music education to children experiencing homelessness. She began performing in shelters, schools, and juvenile centers, sharing not just her gift, but her journey. I don't remember much about the day I was left, she told one crowd. But I remember the day I was seen. The day someone didn't walk past. Always beside her was Daniel. Not just her guardian, her father. After one late concert, as they packed up in the quiet of the green room, Daniel leaned close. Do you know what the real miracle was? He asked. Aaliyah tilted her head. My music. He smiled. You. If this story moved you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more emotional, dramatic, and unexpected tales. And tell us, where in the world are you watching from? We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep watching.